Good morning, everybody. On this Monday, it's July 17th. I'm Chris Allen here on the SAM channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter, sponsored by Ace Hardware Marketplace. Well, we are about to get some more rain, it appears, after we had a break for the most part yesterday and highs in the upper 80s. We hit 88 at the airport in Bowling Green. 90 is our average, so we were only a couple of degrees shy of average. Today, the warm and muggy air is still there, and we're seeing some pretty active weather this morning just off to our northwest as I record this podcast at 4:52 in the AM. Let's take a look at some of this activity, which is producing some very heavy rain. You've got little clusters here. One, two, there's three. There's more back to the west. And all of this, as you can see, is in a general southeast path here. And so it looks like we're going to get some of this morning. It is holding together. So it is believed with the amount of moisture that's here, dew points are running, a little bit higher this morning than they were yesterday. There's really nothing to fend it off. I mean, we do have this high pressure, which is centered about Crossville, Tennessee this morning. So it may try to, scour away some of the shower activity as it comes in. But a lot of this does look like it's going to hold together, especially to the north of Bowling Green. And this may not be all that we see today. This could be the first wave. Then we get a little bit of a break, and there's going to be a second wave later this afternoon that bears watching and could even produce maybe some stronger thunderstorms. But I would say heavy rain is the number one potential threat with this activity. Gusty wind, yeah, maybe even some damaging wind for the afternoon round is certainly possible. And the Storm Prediction Center has laid us out in a slight risk. That's a level 2, which I'll show you here in just a minute. Well, let's proceed on with the current conditions, looking at the Kentucky Mesonet network this morning as they report from just about every county in Kentucky. And we're seeing temperatures starting out upper 60s to low 70s, muggy air across the area. So we've got moisture to work with. Dew points are in the mid to high 60s. Yeah, it's muggy. It's going to be a muggy start, and the air is a little bit thicker today with that moisture. And so I think we've got a good setup here for many of those storms that I showed you on radar to hold together and even come in this morning for some of you for the morning drive. That once we get into the mid-morning especially and later, we're going to see all of that just kind of push into the Bowling Green, Southern Kentucky area. All right, here's a look at the 10-day blender, and we're looking at around 90, upper 80s to around 90. It all depends on when the rain gets here. We've got that haze and smoke in the sky again today. So upper 80s to around 90. 90 would, I would say, be on the warmest side of things. That is, we get, a little more sun between this morning and this afternoon. Then we go upper 80s to about 90 tomorrow, low 90s once we get into Wednesday. Now, Wednesday is going to be the day, it still looks to be the day we get a big scale complex. Okay, so this is a the models are still on this thing. Now that could change, but as you'll see in the model maps coming up, we still look at a pretty good complex of thunderstorms coming in on Wednesday, and that will cool us down a little for Thursday to around 90, and then we really cool down a bit because of the passage of a cold front. For the upcoming weekend, we're going to go mid 80s with a little less humidity, and that's going to make it feel pretty good for the weekend. And really, at this point, the weekend looks fairly dry. Believe that. I mean, it's been a while since we've had a completely dry weekend, but it looks like it may just happen for us this coming weekend. That would be a change, a nice change, actually. All right, here we go to the model map, and I'll show you the time progression and the movement of these systems. It's it's a situation where you're getting this organized moisture, and it's all kind of pushing down into our area. The flow here is making it happen. So yeah, I do think this one will hold together, as you see here. It does run into the high pressure, which I showed you, which was about Crossville, Tennessee this morning. Um, and I do think it tries to scour off some of the leading edge of this activity, but I also think that some of this is going to hold together into the afternoon. There's your little break, and then the afternoon we could see these little right here, these little pop-up showers that could happen. And then you see another complex that's back to the west of us. That one will try to fall apart or either move either north or south of us. But this does weaken, as you see, by the time it reaches Bowling Green. And again, it's because of that high pressure ridge. So that's why it's very difficult to say, yeah, for sure. Absolutely. It's 100% in concrete that we're going to get hit with all that wind and rain. It's moderately confident, or let me see. I'm moderately confident that it will happen, but I'm not highly confident. I'm just trying to make sense out of it, like you guys are. So here we go into Tuesday. We're going to see a couple of more showers and thunderstorms, mainly the afternoon variety, daytime heating type stuff. But it's Wednesday that we're going to have to watch for developing complex of thunderstorms, and you can see it forming right here. Okay, so in the upper flow, which is going to push that thing close to us, this is where we're going to potentially get a lot of wind-driven complex of storms, and very heavy rainfall, and the possibility of severe weather. But this is as we get into Wednesday, watch this thing just kind of push through, and then it starts to tap into some moisture even south of the main system, and that's where it just really enhances and begins to throw down a lot of rain as it pushes on through southern Kentucky, then into middle Tennessee, and then on into southeastern Tennessee and Georgia before it weakens. And that's because the high will move off to the east, allowing us that opportunity to get all of that nastier weather or more active weather. So again, Wednesday is going to be really the day to watch for. If you're talking about some very active weather and thunderstorms and wind-driven rain and all of that, that's gonna be the day. Although we could see some of that today. And here's the outlook that I was telling you about from the Storm Prediction Center. We've got a level 2 yellow, which is a slight risk for a few strong to severe storms this afternoon, right over Bowling Green, up I-65, 165, 68, 80, 24, the Western Kentucky Parkway, Bluegrass Parkway, 71, part of 75. It takes in a pretty good area, you see. And this is mostly this afternoon, not this morning. So we'll just, if we get a lot of sunlight between, or sun energy between this morning and this afternoon, then I would say that level 2 slight risk is probably going to be valid. If we keep a lot of clouds in between, then I don't see it being quite as strong or active or severe. We'll still have thunderstorms, but I don't think they'll be nearly as active because they'll be losing some of the sun energy by that time. Okay, here's a look at the next 7 days. You see the high pressure, you see the series of fronts that are trying to work into the area, and that's going to touch off the front to the north, is going to touch off the showers that are coming in this morning, and then again through the afternoon and evening. You can see it right there as it gets closer. Of low pressure will start to ride along the front, and that's going to slow it down just a little so that it just kind of hangs across the Ohio River the next couple of days. And as long as that front is there, and even though you don't see southern Kentucky painted in the green here, I still think we're close enough to get showers, or at least a chance of showers into Tuesday. Here we go into Tuesday night, into Wednesday. Then the front wobbles back to the north as a warm front because these waves of low pressure help that front kind of flex. You know, it's cold at first, then the low comes in and makes it go back north as a warm front. Then it's going to come back south as a cold front. It is just going to go back and forth like that for the next couple of days, and that keeps us unsettled. Here we go into Thursday, still some showers. Friday, even after the front comes through, there is a trough of low pressure, and that's the main area of circulation, counterclockwise upper flow, and that's going to keep us unsettled and unstable probably for Friday. But then as we get into the weekend, this thing starts to move on. Here is Saturday morning, but then we get into Sunday and everything pushes away and high pressure builds in and we're looking a lot better. So today I'm just going to say periods of showers and thunderstorms. Some of the rainfall could be heavy at times. We get some this morning, then we get more this afternoon and this evening, and some of that rainfall could be heavy and some gusty winds, yes, and highs in the upper 80s, close to 90. All right, headed to the radio station this morning, Sam 100.7, with the morning show on your radio live. And I've got more tickets to give away, rides and slides and all kinds of stuff. So I hope you'll join me for that. In the meantime, God bless you. Thank you for watching. As always, have a great day, and I will see you on the radio.